Let you all open all your three eyes.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
In this sacred manual of power manifestation, which serves as a scriptural authority containing the Shastra Pramanas, eternal unchangeable truths, Apta Pramanas, Atma Pramanas, Sakshi Pramanas, and Prataksha Pramanas, we present to you the various powers of Paramashiva. By this, we place before humanity the supreme authenticity of the power manifestation science established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Nityananda Paramashivam. Paramashiva has systematically revealed these powers in their purest forms as various techniques and revelations to experience pure oneness with Paramashiva. As a direct experience of oneness with Paramashiva, his Shaktis powerfully manifest in an initiated being at different levels of human consciousness, physicality, physiology, psychology, and neurology permanently. We offer these power manifestation manuals to celebrate your experience of oneness with the Supreme Paramashiva. Nityanandam.
Nityanandam, Jnanapadati Manual, under the guidance of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagavan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation, not just creation getting created, even sustenance need to be created, destruction need to be created, and pulling out of delusion need to be created, liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase, Agora Murti has is 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has is 5 phase, Satyojata Murti has his 5 phase, Ishana Murti has his 5 phase. All these 5 Murtis, 5 phases put together is 25 phases of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient Enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam has made Science of Power Manifestation Yoga temple-based university for humanity, Sovijian Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam and Nityananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nityananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva.
choose your guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity which is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness Nityananda Paramashivam, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state.
Nityananda Jnanapatiti for the power of consciousness over matter, moving the coconut blindfolded. Let's go to Bhagavan Satsang for powerful cognition.
Again and again, masters may use different words, but again and again they are pointing towards the same idea, same truth. Buddha was asked by a disciple, Bhagavan, you are speaking same thing for last 40 years. Why? Buddha said, because you never heard. I have to speak the same thing for 40 years because you never heard. 112 meditation techniques. One truth, only one truth. But in 112 ways Shiva is expressing, because he is giving techniques and methods for all kinds of human beings and all possible situations in their life. I can't imagine our civilization, the Vedic civilization has reached that peak, that high intelligence 10,000 years ago. See, only when you become affluent, sophisticated, you will have psychological problems. No, really. No, till you become affluent, luxurious, you won't have psychological problems because you don't have energy for all those things. You are not able to fulfill your basic survival problems like a physical need and food and shelter and all those things. You will have psychological problems only when you are really sophisticated. When all your other things are attended, you have too much of energy, too much of time and nothing much to do, then you create psychological problems and start finding solutions. This is the truth. If we have so much of solutions recorded 10,000 years ago, means we had these problems. It means they lived such an affluent, luxurious, comfortable, developed life. That's what we need to understand. Of course, one nice thing, they had enlightened beings to solve the problems, not like modern day. In the modern day, we are also affluent, luxurious, and have all the psychological problems. Unfortunately, very less number of enlightened masters, and very little tendency or attitude towards listening to the masters and developing ourselves. Somehow, the so-called psychiatrists and psychotherapists, they have started giving a very wrong idea that they themselves can give a complete solution. They can give a total solution. That is the basic problem. The mainstream has started believing that they can solve all the problems. If they can't solve, then there is no method to solve. That was the belief. That was the idea. Somehow the mainstream is settled with the so-called psychotherapy, psychoanalysts and the psychiatrists' helps. They are settled with that help. They forgot to look further. I always tell people, taking birth in India is such a big blessing, because if you fall in depression or if you face some problems, you will go only to some guru or a teacher or master. You don't have any other possibility. You will turn to Asta channel and you will see so many variety of teachers, masters, gurus. It is good. Even if you go to a guru who is not enlightened, then going to a psychiatrist or psychoanalyst. Because if you work with a master or a teacher who is not enlightened, even with him, he can't change the concepts. He may not be able to give you the energy or the initiation to awaken you, but he can't change the concepts. So slowly, the very concepts will lead you to the enlightened master. See, our masters are so intelligent. These guys have created the system which can be carried even by an unenlightened person, but the person who listens, he will get purified when he starts working on it. Whoever works on it, they will get purified. Even if a teacher is not enlightened, if you hear all these words and try to work on them, you will understand the truth that he is enlightened or not. And if you are very clear, you will at least start going towards a different direction, going towards other master, going towards somebody else. The teachings or the truths are so beautiful. And one more thing, somehow these basic rules like not changing the sutras, all have been embedded in our blood, in our consciousness. Even if somebody comes and starts teaching without becoming enlightened, they have their own ethics that they don't go to the level of changing the sutras. Somehow these sutras, these words are same for last 10,000 years. This has been taught from the beginning. If you understand, you tell your understanding. If you don't, at least tell the sutra as it is. No mantra is changed. Understand, our Rig Veda and our Upanishads are the most authentic books which has no interpretation, no alteration, no correction, no development. Those mantras are there as it is. Whenever somebody interprets, comments, it is called only as commentary, bhashya. There will be clear separation. This is original sutra, this is my bhashya, this is my commentary. Got saved because we don't have an organization to hide the original and release only the altered versions. We did not have one organization to represent God. God saved us. Now that is the ultimate good thing happened to the planet Earth. At least one living stream was left without one single organization to represent it. Because whenever one single organization represents, be very clear, corruption is bound to happen. Corrections are bound to happen. Here, thousands of people have studied and kept the original as it is. You can't change the original sutra. This technique is such a scientific, psychological technique. It gives solutions straight away for all the problems which modern day men face. All your sophisticated psychological disorders. In Indian villages, I don't see so many psychological disorders. All kinds of, I'm studying, getting new words, border personality. All these words I never heard. Let me be very honest. I promise that it's the truth. First time I heard the word depression only after coming to this country. No, really. I have not heard that word. Maybe because I don't know English, I didn't study English. But that word I heard only after coming to this country. Never heard of that word. I used to think, what is depression? What is there to get depressed? But when the society becomes sophisticated, affluent, depression is a luxury. You can have only when you have all other things. You can't have it when you don't have basic needs. You should have all basic needs. Only then you can have depression.
Let's go to the Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana, eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures.
The Shastra Pramana for the power of consciousness over matter, silicon, is taken from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 120, Dharana 95. Kvachid vastuni vinyasya shanair drishtim nivartayet tajnanam chitta sahitam devi shunyalayo bhavet. Kvachid vastuni vinyasya shanair drishtim nivartayet tajnanam chitta sahitam devi shunyalayo bhavet.
Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Dharana 95, Sutra 120. Bhagavan Parameshwara says, having fixed one's eyes on a particular object, Vastu, one should slowly withdraw the sight from the object as well as slowly eliminate the knowledge of that object with the thought and impression of it. Then, O Devi, one abides in Sunya, the state where there is nothing other than this exist, which is the state of all-inclusive or infinity. Bhagavan beautifully says once, if you take a rose, we have an idea about rose, we have a knowledge about a rose, we have thought about a rose, we have an impression about a rose. But if you remove everything, what the color, the shape, the smell, the texture, the ideas behind it, the stories behind it, all that if you remove, then what is there is the consciousness. That is the whole space Bhagavan is asking us to connect to. If we connect to everything from the space of consciousness, simply we will be in oneness with everything and start doing everything in much a matured way. Here he says, having fixed one's eyes on a particular object, one should slowly withdraw the sight from the object. The object, the way it appears for us, is not how it is really available. But because of our comparative reality, it looks, and we have given definitions to the color, to shape, to the smell, everything. How a child will view that? They do not understand anything, and a baby would just look at it as any other object. Eliminating the knowledge, the thought and impression, O Devi, one abides in Sunya. Completely one goes into the infinity space where all inclusive. And that is the space Bhagavan says. Once you get into that space, oneness with any object, anything will reveal itself to you. As long as you label it, only those labels will be there. The minute you withdraw those labels, whether it's a rock, whether it is a tree, whether it is an animal, everything he says, it will reveal itself to you when you are, because you are connected in the conscious space to all the things which exist. Because everything is Paramashiva. You are Paramashiva. When you go into that space of Paramashiva, you get connected to everything and everything becomes you. So you start understanding everything much deeper level. You can simply play with the reality. With such a powerful cognition, Bhagavan spoke, luxury is depression. Only when somebody is in luxury, they fall into depression because they don't have anything to worry. And here he gives such a beautiful space where we can manifest all the powers if we understand the higher reality, when we are not conditioned by all these layers of conditioning. Instead, getting past that and declaring, I am Paramashiva, the consciousness, who we are, which is the reality, and being in that again and again, establishing that again and again, makes our mind dissolve and simply come into the reality. The beautiful space, how Bhagavan says, when we go into the deep sleep or a dream state, we let go the state, waking state. We let go the body that is there in the waking state. Then we go to the deep sleep, then we go to the dream state. Same way, when we let go the waking state, we simply fall into the conscious state, which is Paramashiva himself. But with beautiful, powerful cognition, let's move to Apta Pramana. Apta Pramana, consciousness over matter, Dhruva. Dhruva moved the whole multiverse from his penance with his eyes closed. The universe was shaking and collapsing so much from his tapas that Lord Vishnu appeared in front of him and gave him the ultimate experience, darshan, of the divine and enlightenment. Dhruva was a very strong boy where he stopped eating, stopped drinking, and stopped even breathing. He was standing on a tapas for 3 months, and simply he did not move till Vishnu came. As his mother said, only if he is true to come in your third eye. And simply Vishnu came in his third eye and gave the darshan. Only then he relaxed himself. Till then he declared himself that this is the ultimate. When the declaration becomes so intense, especially when how they throw a tantrum for getting a toy. Here Dhruva is throwing a tantrum in the ultimate universe, consciousness as his tantrum, that he would see only Vishnu, then he will wake up from the reality. He will just wake up to the reality. Dhruva was so intense that he could stand all the things. For 3 months he did such an intense tapas that simply all the world started shaking, because he was very clear. His will persistence was so strong that nothing disturbed him, and he was very clear, I have to see Vishnu. Vishnu have to appear in my third eye. Only then I'm going to open my eyes. When the declaration becomes so intense, simply manifestation becomes reality. The beautiful Apta Pramana. Let's go to Atma Pramana. Atma Pramana are Leelas of Bhagavan. Here he narrates, the moment I remember the temple, I remember that joy. I can say that temple was everything for me in my life. Early morning at around 4:30, the temple elephant would carry the water pot for the deity bath. It would go crossing the street where we used to live, from my family temple to main temple. My whole family and community were very closely associated to temple and its administration. So from the family temple, the water pot would go every morning on the elephant. They would be beating the drums. The moment I hear the drum sound, I would be joining them, their team. going and opening the temple, and at night when the deity was put to bed, only then I would leave the temple. Bhagavan says how intense he was living with all the deities in the temple and enjoyed the ultimate oneness with all the deity in the temple. Bhagavan narrates.
Tell you exactly what happened in me. When you have a consciousness which can command and execute something that is one with ultimate, so you are ultimate. I know now with this theory there will be 100 questions, doubts you may have. All that we can digest, grind, burn next. But the first click is right. That first click was so powerful. The words uttered were only two words. Swami. Then he showed through the gestures, are you able to move the right hand? So I responded in the same way, gestures, not words. Yes, I can move. What is there? So just when this gesture question answer was going on, I could understand very clearly what he is trying to convey. If you have a consciousness which can command and make the matter, body is matter, make the matter obey, listen, you are carrying, which is ultimate. You are the consciousness which is ultimate. Onada. Like something hit on my forehead. It was such an ecstasy blossoming, flowering. I started laughing and he started laughing. At least next 10 minutes. It's like I felt, oh God, took Kadka Pudi and cleaned up the whole constipation. And all the incompletion went away. Became complete. If you had constipation for 1 week and had Kadka Pudi and cleansed, came and lie down on the bed, how you feel? Exactly. Oh God. Yes. If I have something which has a power to will and command and make the matter obey, then I have a consciousness which is ultimate. From that click, started manifesting powerful cognitions. If this consciousness can move these hands, why not the air next to the hands? Why not the stone next to the air? Why not the hill next to the stone? The powerful cognitions have started manifesting. And the powerful cognitions have brought understanding, knowledge, powers, all rooted, centered on this one click. listen. I can only reenact. I cannot tell what happened. I can only reenact. He showed the gesture like a. Are you able to move your hands? That's exactly. In my inner space, I can immediately understand the gesture and respond. Why not? See? In this interaction itself, my mind is searching what is he trying to teach through this interaction. What is he trying to insert into me by this gesture? I started looking for, yes, he is asking, can you move your hand? And I am saying, yes, I can. What is the problem? What is he trying to convey through this? I can see very clearly the next understanding coming to me. So, commanding, and the commanded is obeying. The will is acting on the matter, being established in the consciousness. Then what? I was looking into his eyes. I can still remember that casual, sweet, most simple way of giving initiation into the most complicated truth, Advaita.
Let's go to the Shakshi Pramana. Shakshi Pramana are the experience of the millions of disciple devotee all over the world who are initiated by Bhagavan, who are demonstrating and sharing their testimonials.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Moving out of the hand, that's the perfect way of moving. And let's go to the instruction and Pratyaksha Pramana to understand how to manifest the power of consciousness over matter, moving the cloak net with the blindfold.
We will now begin the Pratyaksha Pramana, scientific studies on the avatar. Vedic science declares experientially that all aspects of the universe are consciousness. Matter is simply projected consciousness. Pure consciousness pervades everything, being potential with the bursting force of subtle vibration, spanda, quality of Shiva, until there is an emergent manifestation of the energy which is called Shakti. The supreme pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nityananda Paramashivam. It is important to realize that Sri Nityananda Paramashivam is the only avatar who has agreed to be scientifically evaluated, both in terms of his own body as well as the changes he brings about in other beings. However, it is astonishing to note that his avataric attributes and powers are exactly as defined by the 5,000 years old Hindu yogic science after extensive observation and study. Now it is being tested and proven by modern science also. So now, let us take a look at how these scientific studies present the measuring effects of being in the enlightenment state. through the very imaging brain activity of Bhagwan himself, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nityananda Paramashivam, who we lovingly address as Swamiji. Swamiji himself has been the subject of scientific studies since 2004, and over the past decade, an enormous amount of data about not only his altered states of neurophysiology, but that of his disciples as well, has continued to be recorded. This impressive array of data will be presented systematically now as the Pratyaksha Pramana. In 2004, a team of scientists led by Dr. Murali Krishna MD, President, Integris Mental Health Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, USA, conducted a series of state-of-the-art tests, including a PET scan, to study Swamiji's neurological system. Using the advanced technology of positron emission tomography or PET scan, the activity of Swamiji's brain in the state of samadhi was studied in details. There was a significant enhancement in activity of the lower portion of the mesial frontal area of the cerebral cortex. This region is the starting point of the Anya chakra, or what we call as the third eye, and connects to the limbic system and rest of the cerebral cortex. At the same time, the rest of the cerebral cortex was in the complete state of rest. So now let us take a look at the imaging brain activity. The very results of Swamiji's PET scan test were stunning. The dominant hemisphere of Swamiji's brain was more than 90% shut down. It was as if Swamiji's brain had packed and gone on vacation. It was quiet and still, completely at peace, and Swami had made it at will. The region which is the starting point of the Anya chakra or the third eye, the lower portion of its mesial frontal area, lighted up in a very significant way. When we later asked Swami, what was he doing when the mesial frontal lobes lighten up? And he said he was opening his third eye. The third eye is considered by many to be the seat of the soul. Were we seeing an indication that deep meditation can open an area of the brain responsible for communicating with the divine, looking deep into the mysteries of self or creation? The PET scan revealed what Dr. Murali calls the brain D spot, standing for delight, the divine, or even dopamine, the chemical through which our bodies experience pleasure. Initial indications are that meditation can stimulate it. Source of this research in details can be studied and found in the Avatar Shastra, Chapter 1, Introduction, page 47. Science now shows and knows that both the electrons, which spin in the energy field located around the nucleus of the atom, and the nucleus itself are made up of nothing more than the oscillating energy grids. Solid matter, in the strict construction of the term, simply does not exist. Source is Project Stargate under Consciousness and Energy. Bhagwan Nityananda Paramashivam not only demonstrates all attributions and power of an avatar, but has also successfully transmitted many of them to thousands of disciples through the simple process of initiation or entanglement. Swamiji is the bridge between the invisible, ancient world of mysticism and the modern, visible world of science and discovery. Thank you. And Nityananda.
Set up the camera for moving the coconut blindfolded. Camera with timestamp Jnananjan, blindfold coconut or non-slippery stable object, duct tape. Download the timestamp app, click on the video, ensure the time is shown on the screen very clearly and vividly. Make sure the camera is facing you and the object very clearly and vividly. It should be a wide angle view with a bright light and a quiet place. Make sure these videos are recorded beautifully. These are Shakti Avishkarna videos for entanglement. Guidelines: turn on the video recording, apply the Jnananjan, and on the object also bring your awareness to your third eye. Wear the eye band such that no light enters your eyes. Place your palm comfortably flat on a flat surface. Place the object on the palm in a very stable position. Place the object with the top facing you. If it is coconut, make sure it is facing you, the top. Through the third eye, manifest the power of consciousness over matter. If you feel and see the movement of the object on your hand, then you have manifested, or you just feel the Kundalini energy in the hand. Great, you've started manifesting the power. Please celebrate and share the videos with everybody. You will simply see your manifestation more and more happens. And listen to others' videos, experiences of our manifestation for more entanglement.
Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck, and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually, our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shaktipada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will see in Bhagavan's words what is Shaktipada.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and or egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg, and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hen sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence, the Shaktipada makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be
transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me, why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminders. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes this external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful, avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just a nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shared form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched, by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. We need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being. In the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness. and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced, I was wondering what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection. So they start manifesting the powers. They start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving for all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nityananda. Nityananda. Maha Sadashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye, again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone, nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you'll be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour. Let the Vani open up. Manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Jnananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour. Let the Vani open up. Om Jnananda Paramashivam. Om Jnananda Paramashivam. Om Jnananda Paramashivam. नित्यानंद परमशिवोऽहम् Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om नित्यानंद परमशिवोऽहम्। ॐ नित्यानंद परमशिवोऽहम्। 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda 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 Paramashivoham.
Verification process for consciousness over matter, moving the object on the hand. No video recording for the power manifestation video. Verify video is not stopped or restarted during the process. All videos are verified with a timestamp. The finger should be touching the surface and not getting lifted at all times. No movement of the hand up or down. Please stay the palm on the flat surface so the movement is not seen. There's no sideway movements. No motor or items inside the coconut or object for movement. No peeking through the eye band. Authentically verify the movement of the object through that you're experiencing and make a testimonial of the video and share it with your friends and family authentically with powerful cognition. Thank you for manifesting the power of consciousness over matter.
Beautiful. We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar Manifesting Power Groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/power manifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity, Bhagavan says. The quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra, thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the Power Manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nityananda Parameshwaram Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnanapaddhati, Nityananda Jnanapaddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nityananda.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham